Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I hope you're well. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot, and this is your prediction for May 2026. It is a collective general reading, so as the messages come through today, take what fits and leave what doesn't, because if it's not your message, it simply means it is meant for someone else. And please check out your other placements, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. And if you're not sure what those placements are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also, Sagittarius, keep in mind that after the premiere of this video, you will be able to utilize the gear icon to change the speed setting of the video. Sometimes I channel quickly, sometimes I channel slowly, and so with that speed setting, you can adjust the speed of the video to your liking. With all of that said, now let's begin. Tapping into the Sagittarius collective now, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What does Sagittarius need to know for May 2026? What do they need to know for the month ahead? Let's get one more shuffle here. Thank you. In the heart of your spread, my dear, we have the Five of Cups. In the top row, we have Temperance, we have the King of Wands, and we have the Chariot. Flanking the Five of Cups is the Star and the World card. And in the bottom row, we have the Six of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Cups, and we have the Ace of Swords. Little sneak peek now into June. Can't believe I'm saying June. 10 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and the Moon. And that leaves the Ace of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, 2 of Cups here, and the Devil at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's clarify now. I'm using the After Tarot deck. For those of you not familiar with this deck, the images are slightly different. It does alter the meaning of the cards as well, and we'll go through them as necessary in your reading today. For Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements, let's clarify this now, please, for May 2026. We are clarifying Temperance, King of Wands, the Chariot, the Star, 5 of Cups, the World, 6 of Pentacles, Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Swords for the Sagittarius collective. We'll get one more shuffle. Thank you. Temperance is clarified by the 8 of Wands. The King of Wands is clarified by the 7 of Wands. The Chariot is clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. The Star is clarified by the Tower. The 5 of Cups is clarified by the 8 of Cups. The World is clarified by the King of Cups. The 6 of Pentacles is clarified by the 8 of Pentacles. The Knight of Cups is clarified by the 3 of Pentacles. And the Ace of Swords is clarified by the Page of Swords. Sneak peek again now into June. 8 of Swords, Knight of Cups, and the Magician. Wow, I'm going to have to take that too. World card. That leaves the 5 of Wands, 5 of Swords, Knight of Wands, 10 of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck. Okay, your overall energy for the month of May is the 5 of Cups to the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Cups in the After Tarot deck is someone who is returning to the 8 Cups that they originally walked away from. Now, I'm not sure yet, and I'll find out more when we clarify, but the feeling here seems to be whether or not you are returning to someone from the past or not is a little inconsequential. The general feeling here is a very nostalgic feeling, emotionally going back to some experience that you had with the situation, environment, connection there in your life. There seems to be a lot of reminiscing and some remorse, regret, or sadness that things just did not work out the way you had hoped that they would with that particular, again, situation, environment, or connection. In the top row, we have Temperance to the 8 of Wands. I feel like because of this feeling, this very nostalgic feeling here, there's something here about wanting to move on from it, not wanting to feel those feelings anymore, those feelings of sadness or remorse or regret, but not wanting to do so too quickly in that Temperance card. It's like I want to move on from it, but at the same time, I also want to acknowledge the feelings, which is incredibly healthy to do. King of Wands to the 7 of Wands. There seems to be a reason here for you to kind of draw a line in the sand. It could be with a particular person. We're going to find out. But it looks like your boundaries here may be crossed in the early portion of the month. Because in the After Tarot deck, the 7 of Wands, someone who's standing their ground, it's sort of like they're beating people back, not literally speaking, I mean figuratively speaking, kind of pushing back on people who are looking to cross their boundaries. You then have the Chariot and the Ace of Pentacles. It's like once we handle this situation, then we move forward. So it's like I can't move forward yet because I'm thinking about everything that has happened. And now because of my kind of like hindsight into this situation, environment, or connection, it's now empowering me to lay some boundaries down with a person or some people. Once they cross them and I reaffirm those boundaries, then I'm able to proceed forward. Star to the Tower. Now I'm able to heal from whatever has transpired and also simultaneously move towards wish fulfillment, however you describe that for yourselves or whatever that is to you. The World to the King of Cups. I do feel like this is you being incredibly emotionally balanced and dumping out a cup that was presented to you at some point in the past. The World card is a card of, there's closure here, there's completion, it's an ending, there's some type of finalization here. And the After Tarot deck, the King of Cups is dumping out the cup. So you're dumping, it appears to be, or I hate using the word dumping, but it looks like you are ending here something in your life upon a lot of reflection and a lot of review. You're either letting go of the situation, environment, or connection, or if you've already done that in the past, it looks like you're letting go of any of the feelings of like loss or remorse that you have. So it's sort of like if you've ever lived in an apartment or even a home, I suppose, and it's either like it's move out day because you're leaving the apartment, or it's like the last day you're in the home because you just sold it. It's that kind of look back. That's the feeling that I get here. Like I'm going to look back around in this empty space that once had this situation, environment, or connection in it. And I'm looking at it once more and I'm shutting off the lights because I know that once I walk through the doorway and I pull that door behind me, it's the last time I will ever be in that apartment or in that home. Six of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. Now it's like, now I get to move forward. Now that I have firmly put that in the past, I've let go of all of the disappointing emotions that were stirred up by that were still kind of lingering. Again, it's that one-time look back. Now I can move forward. Knight of Cups to the Three of Pentacles. Now with an open heart, I can move forward towards new collaborations or some new project that I'm working on. I'm speaking like you. An Ace of Swords to the Page of Swords. There seems to be some communication between a person or a group of people in regards to whatever it is here that you are working on. So let's begin to clarify. Let's clarify the Five of Cups here. Please clarify the Five of Cups for the Sagittarius Collective for May 2026. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Okay. We have the Ten of Wands, flew out of the deck, the King of Swords, and the Two of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Swords. So this is something you've been thinking about for a long time. It could be about a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. It does not have to be. But it's been a albatross on you, emotionally speaking, thinking about what transpired between you and this one individual. And I think there was also a part of you that was hoping that this person would like eventually turn things around, or maybe even return. And return as like a, I hate to say this about another human being, but like a better version of themselves. And it seems like that's what you're thinking of, like, wow, we really could have worked out. We could have been the best friends for life, or that would have been like a fantastic familial connection to have for the rest of my days. Or I would have really have loved to have had that romantic partner by my side had they not done ABC and left me feeling XYZ. You know, that's kind of the feeling here. And I think, like I said, there was a part of you there that was hoping that by this point in time, they would have turned things around, or they would have leveled up, or they would have grown up. They would have made different choices. And I think you've been holding on or suppressing all of these emotions in regards to that situation, environment, or connection. Tell me about that Eight of Cups here. One more shuffle. Thank you. So it's just sort of like a nostalgic look back. Nine of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Justice. That's the feeling. I'm looking back at this one more time before I move forward into the future. I think what you're recognizing is that this, I think it's more of a connection-based reading, to be honest with you, but whatever it was, situation, environment, or connection, was not fair or was not balanced. I think you invested in the situation, environment, or connection more than the other person or people involved did. I think you're looking back at how maybe you missed some of the red flags, or you chose to ignore some of the red flags with the situation, environment, or connection, meaning you gave them the benefit of the doubt. This is someone in that Ten of Pentacles. You've known them a long time. Now, it could be an employer for some of you. You're thinking back about a past employer. I gave them the best years of my career type of feeling. You could be thinking about a family member, and it certainly could be a love partner, or maybe even someone you were married to and you had that Ten of Pentacles with. But I kind of feel like it's this one last look back to everything that transpired and feeling all of those emotions again, the good and the bad, and then letting them go. It seems to be like a full release here of the emotional weight that you've been carrying. Temperance to the Eight of Wands. Clarify Temperance here. Clarify Temperance here. One more shuffle. Thank you. Temperance is clarified by the Queen of Pentacles, the Eight of Cups, and the Seven of Swords. Bottom of the deck, we have Two of Swords. Clarify that Eight of Wands. Clarify that Eight of Wands. One more shuffle. Thank you. Eight of Wands is clarified by Seven of Pentacles, Hanged Man, and the Five of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, Page of Pentacles. Remember what I was saying, like, I want to move forward, I want to move on from this, but it's one last look back. That's what you're doing with that Hangman energy there. I think you're looking back and realizing just how detrimental that relationship really was to you. For some of you, this individual, I mean, with that Seven of Swords, there's lying, cheating, betrayal, lies by omission, possibly third-party involvement that sometimes comes up as well. But this is definitely the feeling of, I gave more than I should have to someone who did not respect me or did not honor me or was not reciprocal in nature. Remember, we saw justice at the bottom of the deck. So I feel like there was an imbalance in this relationship. And I think you're just looking back and acknowledging all of it and almost justifying to yourself why you had to or have to move on. Because it's possible for some of you, this person, and you still have some kind of tie or connection to one another, and you might be closing it out in May. So I don't know where you are in the Sagittarius timeline. For some of you, you've already left this person behind, and for others of you, you're preparing to do that. But it's still this look back of how much you invested in that Seven of Pentacles and how you ended up in the Five of Pentacles. So maybe you overinvested financially, and you're realizing this person really took you, it took you to the cleaner, so to speak, financially. And for others of you, it's just looking at all of the negative emotional experiences you had as a result of this person's actions. So it's a look back. You're either justifying to yourself, this is why I had to walk away, or you're justifying to yourself, this is why I have to walk away. Again, I don't know where you are on the timeline. Clarify that. King of Wands, that's your energy, whether you're masculine or feminine. If you haven't seen my readings before, I say it quite often. I feel that queens exist in the present because they process the past, and kings take action. So I do feel here that the King of Wands is you. One more shuffle. Thank you. King of Wands is clarified here by the Three of Cups, the Fool, and the Four of Swords. Bottom of the deck, Phoenix. So as you start this new chapter of your life without this person, I think what you are feeling here in the month of May is that you need to protect your peace moving forward, not only from that situation, environment, or connection, but from future situations, environments, or connections that could be similar to this. I think what this experience here was supposed to teach you was healthy boundaries, how to stand up for yourself, how to be able to use the word no, to not be such a people pleaser. One more shuffle here. Thank you. The Seven of Wands is clarified by the Hermit. That's exactly what you learned from this connection, because we're clarifying the Seven of Wands. The Page of Wands and the Four of Swords. I think you healed the wound here, and you're acknowledging that in the month of May, that had it not been for this connection, as deceptive or chaotic or heartbreaking as it was for you emotionally or financially, the feeling here, I'm not going to say that you have gratitude for this person. I mean, let's be honest, who the hell has gratitude for anyone who engages in Seven of Swords behavior? But there's still something of, I have really grown, and I would not be the person I am today had I not had that experience or experiences, because I don't know if for some of you it's one person or many people. But there's something here of like, I'm starting over now from scratch, Page of Wands, but I'm a lot wiser in that Hermit energy. I've healed this maybe people-pleasing wound within myself, and moving forward, I will never allow that situation, environment, or connection, or another one like it, to ever take advantage of me again. So you are a stronger Sagittarius because of it. And I feel like you are acknowledging that in the month of May. There's also an emotional release of whatever pain this person has caused you. Chariot. And it's like, now you breathe that sigh of relief, and now you get to move forward towards a new opportunity, a new beginning, a new connection. Tell me about the Chariot. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Chariot is clarified by the King of Pentacles, the Six of Cups, and the Death card. Bottom of the deck, Eight of Wands. Well, moving forward towards stability, moving towards a new connection, whether it's professional, platonic, or romantic. You are on the fast track of, I've learned my lessons here. There's no need to repeat them with whomever, whatever this is. I'm looking for new, and I'm ready. That King of Pentacles to the Six of Cups to the Death card is like, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next connection. Again, whether it's professional, platonic, or romantic. I'm ready to begin again. Ace of Pentacles. Clarify that Ace of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ace of Pentacles clarified by the Fool. We got that twice in two different decks. This is I'm ready. Seven of Cups, and the Death card shows itself again. I'm done with the past. I'm done with the past. I'm not waiting for the situation, environment, or connection to change. I've learned my lesson. I'm holding firm on this. I'm done. For those of you where you have not left the situation, environment, or connection prior to May 1st, then this is something you are leaving in the month of May. And please don't allow tarot to dictate what you do. It's just very clear here. I mean, I'm surprised we didn't see the Ten of Swords yet, but, you know, we're only halfway through the reading. But there definitely is a feeling here of I'm not confused. And the reason why I see that is because in the original Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, the Seven of Cups could speak to wishful thinking, illusions, confusions, being spoiled for choice, and just not knowing what to do. But in the After Tarot deck, the Six of Cups are being left on the shelf. So the past person, the past experience, those past feelings of heartache or hardship are being left on the shelf. And the individual is only holding the Ace of Cups. They have this, you know, snake around their waist, this transformation. They're shedding the old skin. And we see that also here in the Hermit, who is holding the snake, because they are much wiser. They too have shed this skin. So I just feel like you are either emotionally and energetically releasing this. And for others of you where it's still physically existing in your life, I think you are physically exiting whatever this is in the month of May. Star. Clarify the Star card. I don't think I've ever seen you ready for a new chapter, and I've been reading for you a little over 2 years now. One more shuffle here. Thank you. This is like, I'm so done. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to feel it anymore. I'm just done. And if this is, like I said, someone in your life, you are done. The Star is clarified by the Tower. Got 2 towers here. The Tower, the Three of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, High Priestess. Being led by your higher self, being led by your intuition. I almost want to say being led by your future self. I don't know why. Maybe that's how you're feeling. Like, future me will be really proud of me if I do this. And I think you're absolutely right about that. Three of Wands, astrologically, is the Sun in Aries. Eight of Pentacles, I always say, is like working 8 days a week, even though there's only 7 days in a week. This is your rapid ascension, if you will, towards healing, towards wish fulfillment, wanting to move forward, move into the future as far and as fast as you can, away from whomever or whatever this is. I don't want to experience it anymore. I don't want to talk about this person anymore. I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to revisit this anymore. This is absolute certainty. Clarify the Tower. One more shuffle. Thank you. Tower is clarified by Page of Cups. I want new. Three of Cups. And the Devil. I can't tell you how much I love this. This is you saying, I want healthy connections that moving forward. And that's because in the original Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, the Devil depicts 2 individuals shackled to one another. Now, in some of the other tarot decks I have, they're either shackled to one another, or they're shackled to the podium, or they're shackled to the Devil, you know, who presides over them. But in the After Tarot deck, the individuals are free. They are unshackled. And so I think this moment for you in May is moving forward. I only want to give and exchange cup energy, emotional, heart-based energy with individuals, as you know, provided they are healthy connections. I don't want toxic, codependent connections anymore. I don't want to deal with people who engage in Seven of Swords behavior anymore. This is like no tolerance for bullshit anymore. I want to rejoice. I want to be happy. I want to connect with community, with friends, with family, possibly even a new love interest, but it only if it's healthy. So you're recognizing that something in the existing, which is on its way out, or previous connections that you had, because again, I don't know where you are in the timeline, you're acknowledging something was tremendously healthy, something was tremendously unhealthy on the part of this person, but you're also acknowledging that there was something unhealthy within you because you continue to stay in it longer than you should. And that is an awareness, my love, that most people do not have. It's very easy for people to always blame the other person. And look, I'm not saying it's your fault for the Seven of Swords behavior at all. But sometimes we stay in connections longer than we should. And that could be some type of toxic codependency. So what you're doing here in May is so powerful, because you're not only kind of like pointing the finger at that person, like energetically, like, I see you. Now I see what you did and how horrible it was. And I see how much I've changed and I've grown from it. But I'm also recognizing why I stayed in it as long as I did, why I tolerated that situation, environment, or connection, why I kept pouring pentacle energy into someone who was depleting me or taking advantage of my time, my skills, my talent, my love, my money, etc., etc. This is profoundly huge. That's why you have 2 Tower moments there. It's not only I see you, it's I see the part of me that kept me attached to you. This is huge. The World card, and I'm shutting the door on that. I don't want to be that person anymore that overinvests or overstays. You know, when the party's over, the party's over. Like, I don't want to be the person anymore who stays long after the party's over. The World card. Shutting the door on everything. I mean, everything. on the person, the experience, the emotions, even the toxic pattern within yourself that kept you hooked to them for as long as you were. This is a full release, Sag. One more shuffle here. Thank you. May is going to be profoundly huge for you. The World card is clarified by the Three of Swords. I'm leaving that heartache behind. Nine of Wands and the Five of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Six of Swords. I want to move on from all of it. I'm so, so proud of you. So proud of you. Yes, 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 yes. Because I read the comments, I interact with you, and some of you are like, but this person isn't in my life anymore. I already left the job, or I'm not talking to that friend anymore. I stopped the connection with the family member, or I broke up with that romantic partner. Why are they still showing up in my readings? Because you, my love, there was a part of you that was still unhealed. You were still carrying around the pain that the person, inflicted or people inflicted on you, but you were also not recognizing maybe your role in staying longer than you did. And now this is a full clear out. This is a full clear out. King of Cups is clarified by the Ten of Swords. It's done. I'm not going back again. I'm not repeating that again. The Queen of Swords and the King of Wands. And there you are. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Cups. I want real happiness, not Disney bullshit happiness. I want real happiness. I forgot whose reading I had said in, I think it was your opposite sign of Gemini, because one of their placements on the spread was the Ten of Cups to the Ten of Cups. And that first Ten of Cups was like the Disney Ten of Cups. It's like, the picture on the card, it's like lush green home, rainbow colored house, two people are at a table, they're drinking tea, there's like a deer and there's a cat. And it's so fairy tale like. But in the After Tarot deck, the Ten of Cups is real, it's tangible. These are generational people. They're elders and grandparents, and there's a couple, and there's kids, and there's a cat, and there's a real home in the background, not some fairy tale castle. That's a real home. And these people are building a real fire to keep one another warm, to help one another grow. They're soothing one another. They're engaged in conversation. And I think that's what you're now in the pursuit of. Real world happiness, not fairy tale bullshit happiness that maybe kept you tied to that a little bit longer than you should have, because you romanticized the relationship, or you were looking at the job in rose-colored glasses. So it's an end to all of it. Seeing it very clearly, head above the clouds here, and taking decisive action to walk away from all of it. The memories, the feelings, the person, the situation, like if they're still in your life. Six of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. What you working on now? What you working on now that this emotional albatross has come off of your neck, my love? Clarify that. Six of Pentacles. One more shuffle. Thank you. Six of Pentacles, clarified by the Emperor. You're taking charge on something. Hangman and the Page of Wands. Bottom of the deck, Six of Swords. We saw the Page of Wands here in the other deck, and I said, oh, you're kind of like starting off from scratch. So you're moving forward now in a new direction. There's something here that interests you in terms of work. There's something here you want to perfect, some type of skill. Maybe you're an accountant and you want to go back to school and maybe learn something new. I don't know, maybe new, if you're in the United States, new IRS tax codes or something like that. So for some of you, this is in regards to what you do. Maybe you read tarot, now you want to get into astrology, or vice versa. So I have like a 50-50 split. For some of you, this is something you currently are engaged in that interests you. Six of Pentacles. It could be a way that you make money. But again, I just see you investing pentacle resources. And it's like in the month of May, now that that's cleared out, you're going to kick it up a notch. You're going from Six of Pentacles to the Eight of Pentacles. You want to invest more time to... Could be for some of you wanting to go to school to like maybe get a degree, get a certificate, get a license. It's just more like trying to master an existing craft, some existing talent that you have. For others of you, you're not really sure what that existing talent would be, but you have a couple of options before you. There are things you've always wanted to do or learn, and this is the month that you decide, now that I no longer have to invest in that emotionally or energetically or financially, I'm now going to refocus my attention towards this. So again, for some of you, you're just like perfecting a skill that you currently have. And for others of you, you are discovering a new skill and you are wholeheartedly invested in learning that new skill. Clarify the Eight of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Temperance, and the Five of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Star. And in the After Tarot deck, the Five of Swords, there are no arguments. So this is something that you wholeheartedly want to do now that you're no longer focused on that. You're no longer waiting for them to come back around and be the ideal work situation, living situation, friend, family member, lover. You're like, I'm done with that. I'm done thinking about it. I'm not repeating that pattern. This interests me. You have no mental reservations about pouring your pentacle energy into this. Something new here that you want to do, you feel you could be victorious with. You also feel that it will help you in the future. So I think for some of you, it could be like accreditation, licensing, certificate, something like that. Or even if you're just learning it at home, like a do-it-yourself type, you know, I want to learn tarot or perfecting your intuition. There's something here of like, I really want to work on this. You're not being forced to do this. Knight of Cups. Tell me about the Knight of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. Knight of Cups is clarified by the 8 of Swords, the 4 of Cups, and the Strength card. Bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. And that 3 of Pentacles. Tell me about that 3 of Pentacles. We'll take it. 3 of Pentacles, clarified by 2 of Pentacles, 9 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, 3 of Wands. There's a feeling here in the Sagittarius collective that if I work on this, or I perfect this, or I acquire, again, this accreditation or license or something like that, it will make me extremely happy in real world. So you're taking something that was sort of in the dream state. Remember that original 10 of Cups is like Disney 10 of Cups. And you're wanting to root it in reality. So I've always dreamed of being a realtor. This is the month I'm going to see what my options are for attending school and acquiring my real estate license. You know, I've always wanted to get into astrology. This is the month I'm going to see what is available to me in terms of online courses. This is something that you want to do that you feel would be beneficial to your overall happiness in the future, and also provide you with some type of financial support that is yours, money that you make that only belongs to you. I love this for you. This is like... This is like working very hard here to make a dream of yours, a financial dream of yours, a reality. Ace of Swords. Tell me about the Ace of Swords. Not going to take it. They all fell face down. Clarify that Ace of Swords, please, here. Something here about the Ace of Swords. Tell me about that Ace of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Ace of Swords is clarified by Page of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Ace of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck, 6 of Wands. Clarify the Page of Swords. Clarify the Page of Swords. One more shuffle. Thank you. Page of Swords is clarified by the Sun, the High Priestess, and the 2 of Cups. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Cups. Well, you have a new partnership here towards the latter part of the month. It is not this person. It is new. It's something new that you've been manifesting since this ending. So it could be a new professional soulmate for those of you looking for work, looking for new places of employment. It could be a business partner. It could be someone who wants to invest in you in that Ace of Pentacles energy. This could be you wanting to go back to school but needing some kind of grant or loan, some type of funding. And this would be you applying and then you receiving that grant, loan, or funding. If you're ready for love, this very well could be a new romantic partner being put on your path. Whoever this person is, the chance encounter here to meet with them, to collaborate with them, to accept, or I should say receive this Ace of Pentacles from them, makes you exceptionally happy. You also feel like this connection is part of your next chapter. You feel very much aligned to this person. Like you're looking for a job and this is the right boss and you feel it in your soul. This is the right boss. I'm meeting this person at the right time in my life. I'm meeting the right financier. I'm meeting the right, professor or teacher, friend, lover. You feel wholly aligned to this individual. And then when we look into June, I can see why. 10 of Cups, 7 of Cups, and the Moon. This is very much a surprise. This connection ends up opening up your world a bit to new people. So again, let's say this is the lender because let me give you a basic example. You want to go back to school, you want to get your real estate license, okay? Maybe you don't have the money to do that. You apply for a small loan. This is the agent who gets you that loan. Now suddenly you're able to go to school to take those classes, and now you're meeting all of these new people. And you're very, very happy. And you never saw that. It's hidden in the shadow of the moon. That this world now of it's not only acquiring the license, but now I'm meeting all of these other people, all of these other soulmates. Now I get to have all of these other adventures in my life as a result of me just deciding to apply for that loan or apply for that grant. This could be you. I want to get a little bit more clarification because I see victory. I see Queen of Cups. This is very much a happy surprise here. Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups in the After Tarot deck is taking the lid off the chalice. She's very surprised. The Queen of Pentacles is holding up the Pentacles, seeing her reflection in it. So this seems to be a surprise chance encounter that ends up opening up now a world of possibilities. You know, it's the individual who gives you a job, and now you get to meet all of these amazing people and clients. I just feel like they expand your world, or they open your world. In the After Tarot deck, we see the Eight of Swords. You're freed from that past connection completely in June. Knight of Cups, in the After Tarot deck, the Knight of Cups is drinking the Ace of Cups. You're pouring into yourself. You're loving yourself. And you are manifesting at rapid speed. You have the Magician here, which is also what you were manifesting here. So that's why I mean, like, this carries over into June. And then you have the World card. Well, in the After Tarot deck, the World card, the four corners do not have the four fixed signs, which we're so used to seeing. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Instead, we have the four aces, which only the Magician has. So you are rapidly manifesting now in the month of June. Opportunities, experiences, financial opportunities, new connections, possibly even a romantic partner, all because of this. So I'm wondering a little bit more about this for you. Tell me more about this person. Tell me more about that Two of Cups. This is a very welcomed chance encounter. You know, had I not applied for this, I wouldn't have met this person, and they wouldn't have opened up all of those opportunities for me. And to give you a very basic example using my own life, not that I'm making a reading about me. I know I get some hate sometimes in the comments. But when I was down on my luck, 18 years old, most of you know that I was homeless, and I would go to one cafe, and they would give me a cup of coffee in exchange for me cleaning up the floors, and before they opened and after. And they would probably they would give me like a cookie or a biscotti or something like that to go with my coffee. And on some days, that was the only meal that I had. I was very thankful to Mr. and Mrs. Farber of the cafe that gave me that opportunity. And they also allowed me to come in prior to them opening, and I can clean myself up in their bathroom in the back. They had like a full shower and everything. I was very, very grateful to them. But what ended up happening was one morning, I was done cleaning, the place had opened up, I was cleaned myself, and they asked me to sit at the counter. They had like a coffee bar counter. And I always felt like I did not belong there because of the type of clients, like customers that they would attract. And they were like, no, you should sit here. They were my chance encounter. Through them, I met Andrew and his wife, who happened to come in for coffee. I was sitting down next to them. They were opening up a Thai restaurant 2 blocks away, and they were asking the Farbers, did they know anyone who could be a great hostess? And the Farbers were like, you're sitting right next to her. And so Andrew and his wife gave me the job. And then about 6 months into working there, I was serving a table. There was a very noisy child, a 2 or 3 year old, a toddler. I asked the parents, you know, because they seemed to be like on a romantic date, and I feel like they didn't have a babysitter. So I said, if you want, I'm taking a 15-minute break. I can just give you guys 15 minutes alone. I'll stay right here in the room, but I can take the child and just go to the other end. We had like a little play area for kids, and they were like, oh my God, we'd be so grateful. So, and I was within, close distance to them, so they can keep a watchful eye on their child, of course. And there I met Mrs. Gila. Mrs. Gila was a Montessori school teacher who then gave me a job as a teacher at her Montessori school. So that's what I mean by the chance encounter, me walking into that coffee shop, hoping that those people would give me a job, and that rolled into something that was, it just changed my entire life at 18 years old. You know, within a couple of months, I had really good income. I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a Montessori school. I was still doing the hosting at the Thai restaurant. I was able to buy a car. I was able to get an apartment. I wasn't sleeping in the street anymore. I wasn't eating out of a garbage can anymore. One chance encounter. And that's what I feel this is for you. Changes your whole life here, all because you let this go and you decided to invest in you. So if this message is resonating for you, there's something you've been wanting to do, wanting to learn, and this could even be volunteering at a community group, please do that, because I think you meet someone here who really helps change your life for the better. And I wouldn't have felt called to share that story with you if I didn't feel like, when I get called to share those types of life experiences with you, I feel like it's because someone watching needs to hear that. Like, it's important to your message. Tell me more about that Two of Cups. One more shuffle. Thank you. The Two of Cups, we have the Devil, we have the Four of Wands, and we have the Queen of Cups, which is at the bottom of the deck. This person helps you restabilize yourself or reestablish yourself after leaving that toxic person. So again, I don't know who this is, but this is someone who puts you on the path of meeting some new people, restabilizing yourself. Again, it could be the realtor if you're looking for a home. Someone who gives you a job so then you can afford to, you know, purchase your own residence. Tell me more about this person. We have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. It's possible for some of you it's a love partner. One more shuffle. Thank you. I feel like this person helps you get away from that. Absolutely. 4 of Cups, 6 of Cups, and Knight of Pentacles. The Moon card shows itself again. 2 totally different decks. The 4 of Cups, dumping out the Ace of Cups. It's like this person helps you leave the past behind. Remember, that King is dumping out that cup. The 4 of Cups is dumping out the cup. Dumping out what cup? The cup from the past. Whatever, whomever it is here that you are leaving behind. Knight of Pentacles, this is someone who is solid. This is someone who is steady. I think I said in one of your readings, I think it was you, that I said you have someone coming who's going to help like extricate you out of this. Now, it could be if you're already in this situation, this is someone out on your path this month to extricate you out of that. And for others of you, like I said, you've already left this person behind, but now that you're shedding the emotional albatross that was still weighing on you and you're investing your time differently, you meet this person and they just help you move forward. I think this opens up a world of opportunities for you. The Lovers, the 10 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles again. The Moon, the 9 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Pentacles, and Judgment. This is beautiful. This is stability, financial success, wishes fulfilled, and this is what you don't see, all because of one chance encounter. So please get out there in the month of May. Don't be a shut-in. This person's not going to just, you know, magically ring your doorbell. But yeah, either extricating you from that toxic situation, environment, or connection, or helping you to move on for those of you where you have already done it. And this is the month where you're just energetically and emotionally releasing that person. Let's get you some advice. Oh God, are we at the 40-minute mark? Almost. I'm so sorry, Sag. Let's get you 3 cards of advice for those of you where you have already left this behind. And this is the emotional or energetic release. And you know what I'll do? I'm doing this reading on the 30th. I'm going to post it on the 30th as well. Tomorrow, May 1st, is the full moon in Scorpio. Death card, all about releasing. So pin to your comment, I'm also going to put a full moon ritual. It's free. Follow it step by step. Release this person. You can cut that energetic cord. I'll put a link to the cord cutting also that you can do. But I would do a full release, whether they're still in your life or not. I would sever that tie. It's only advice. You do what you want. One more shuffle here. Thank you. So letting all of that go. 2 of Wands, moving forward, future planning, making progress, making the decision to let that go. Knight of Cups, going in another direction towards your, what it is that you desire, your manifestation. Bottom of the deck, dropping this. Exchanging the 10 of Wands, which we had here, this emotional weight, and moving towards the Ace of Pentacles, which is this brand new beginning, this new chapter. So your advice here is to do it. Your advice here is to do it, to pivot and go in another direction towards your manifestation, because it's obvious that this is not, it's not here anymore. And you know that. We would have had a totally different reading if the past had anything of value there for you. 3 cards of advice here about moving into the new, learning something new here. 3 cards of advice. One more shuffle. Thank you. I can't believe June. I mean, it's amazing. Justice, moving into the new. Page of Cups, 2 cards came out, 7 of Pentacles, and that King of Pentacles shows itself again. Bottom of the deck, 5 of Cups. New soulmate now on path. So there's something here about this is the right thing for you to do. This is karmically right for you. You're now on the right path. You can now invest your pentacle resources better. I'm telling you, there's someone new here on your path. They don't have to be an earth sign. I just feel like it's someone who's grounded and stable. There's something here with money, offering you a job, financial resources, could be a teacher, a professor, very well could be a new love partner, because we did have the Lovers there before at the bottom of the deck. But this is what you're moving towards: security, discipline, abundance, new opportunities, alignment, profit. Sometimes the 7 of Pentacles could be about profit. So I really think you're learning something new here in order to create some type of like financial reward for you. Can we get advice for the new person? Anything about the new person? One more shuffle. Thank you. New person, 2 of Cups. Can't make it up. 2 totally different decks. You got the 2 of Cups here for this person. 2 of Cups, the Hierophant, and the Lovers. Shows itself again, bottom of the deck, Temperance. It could be a Taurus. It could be a Gemini. It doesn't have to be. This is someone, whether it's professional, platonic, or romantic, you feel aligned to them. They feel like a kindred spirit. This is deja vu. You feel like you've known this person before, and you probably have. You probably have known them in a past life. This is alignment. It could be like, it could be love, but whether it is professional, platonic, or romantic, this person is meant to be on your path. So get a little out of your comfort zone if you have to get out there into the world to meet this person online in the 3D. But this is a partnership that's going to open doors for you, and this person is being brought into your life by Archangel Michael. This is a great reading. Didn't start off so great. That's okay. That's life. You know, Tarot is a lot like life. It's not all rainbows and unicorns, but you are moving towards the end of the rainbow, which is that pot of gold. So let's get you some oracle cards and we'll close it off with some kippers. I can't believe this. This is amazing. Shared values, union, love, relationships. This is someone who respects you, someone who's aligned to your path, someone who is steady, stable. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Enlightenment. Walking towards that door, towards new potential. I'll read these to you in a moment. Anchored in self, and you are healing. Again, healing from whatever that awful situation, environment, or connection was. Let's get you 3 more cards here for Sagittarius Collective. One more shuffle. Thank you. I also want to point out, we have the Queen of Cups, and at the bottom of the deck is the King of Cups. Like, if this is love, this is a beautiful, emotionally balanced, emotionally reciprocal connection. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Ancient Drum, Twilight Glow, and a Mountain Peak. You have enlightenment. Gain deep understanding and insight of the past and open the door to new wisdom. Your new life is waiting for you, Sag. Walk through it. Ancient Drum, feel the heartbeat of the earth and connect with its rhythm. I feel like you've come full circle from all of this. Like you're finally able to shed it and release it and let it go. Potential, unleash your inner potential and transcend your self-limitations. I see you doing that. Twilight Glow, embrace the in-between. Magic happens at twilight. Well, I would say in the energy of that full moon, I would create a little magic for yourself and I would release whomever, whatever this is. We then have a new moon in Taurus. I think it's on the 16th or 17th of May. I would call in the new person. But you could call in the new person at any time. I'll also put a link to manifestation there in the new moon ritual. But I would definitely call in the new person around that date. Anchor in self. Find your center within. Remain steadfast despite any external storms. Absolutely. And the mountain peak. Reach for the heights. Your goals are now within sight. They absolutely are. You are climbing the mountain. You are ascending the mountain, much like the hermit, a lot more wiser. You're able to look back at this whole situation, understand why it happened, understand why you stayed in it longer than you had, and be very gentle with yourself during that process. This is not a time to shame yourself or blame yourself. This is a time, I love, to heal. Heal by confronting and addressing that past wound. Absolutely. And then you have Mystic Mirror. Self-reflection will bring insight. Look within. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to acknowledge why we stayed, why we didn't leave, why we ignored the certain signs. Seeing that pattern helps us to break it and not engage in that pattern again. You'll never have to have that experience again. Let's get a couple of kippers now and we'll close out your reading. 2 cards for the top row. Okay. Got 3 cards. We'll take it. Unexpected income. Mature woman. You could be a mature woman, mature man. I don't read body parts. And on the side we have concern. Oh, I'm sure they are concerned that you are moving on from them. Sometimes people can feel us energetically let go of them even if they're no longer in our life. 2 cards here for the middle row. We have thief and we have main male. Again, main male, main female. Your feeling here is this person has, either you're seeing them in that 7 of Swords light and you're deciding to, leave them behind. You're walking out of their life, or you're quitting the job, or you're, breaking up, whatever it is here that you're doing. Or again, you're just, this person is no longer in your life, but you're reflecting on everything that they did to you. And it's okay. Allow yourself to feel those feelings. And 2 cards here for this final row. We have house, structure, stability, and in the reverse, we have courthouse. That karmic contract, I want to say, done. That you're severing the cord with this person. Toil and labor, great fortune. I think this is someone who has something here to do with finance. Could it be a love partner who's rich or well off? Sure, absolutely. But there's still something here about you working towards creating some type of like financial nest egg for yourself, or learning some new skills here that will create great fortune for you in the future. This person is somehow tied to this. Like I said, the financier, the loan officer, the teacher, the professor, the love partner, the new boss. Please claim this person. Anything else we need to know about the new person? Anything else we need to know about the new person? New person, coffin. I'm telling you, for some of you, this person's going to help extricate you out of that, or just help you rebuild your life if you've already left it. Pathway, whole new pathway, my friend. Distant horizons. The involvement of this person in your life, in your next chapter, will change your life over the course of the next 3 to 6 months. That is what I have for you, Sag. This is by far one of your better readings. So it might be a little rough in the first 2 weeks. Have some patience with yourself and definitely call in this new person. Your life changes after that new moon in Taurus. That is what I have for you. If you like those messages, they resonated with you, you want to claim all or part of them, please be sure to click like, share, comment, subscribe, hype the video if you're able to do that. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you good luck. And as always, I'm sending you light, love, and peace.